If you are buying an investment property or even a home to live in, do not sign the contract of sale before you watch this. Today, I am walking you through the due diligence points which every buyer should take into consideration. Otherwise, they can cost you a lot of money in missed growth, bad tenancy, and simply buying the bad property. And stay till the end because I'll show you how to do these checks like a pro. And if you need a copy of due diligence checklist, just drop a comment, DM checklist, and send me an email. I will send you a copy of due diligence checklist which you can use for your next purchase. So coming to the video, what is a proper due diligence? Due diligence means checking the performance of a property before you put an offer. You might pick a hot suburb, perfect timing, but if you get a wrong property in right suburb, it will underperform. So let's jump into the most common due diligence points which you should consider before you buy a property. So hi guys, this is Sachdev from Advire Property Group. We are the independent buyer's agent who help everyday Aussies to invest in high performing real estate assets. And if you need any help for your next purchase or first purchase, please make sure to contact us on the contact details given below. So make sure you like it, subscribe to it, and share it with your friends who are considering investing in real estate in future. Guys, the first factor which you want to take into consideration is a location factor. Homes which are close to the main roads, highways, train lines, and to the busy school often come up with consistent noise, fumes, and traffic, which makes life less pleasant and can turn off the future renters and the buyers. So a quick visit to that location won't show you everything. So you will have to consider going there at different intervals of the day. For example, go in the morning time, go in the afternoon time, go in the evening time, go there in the peak hours. If you live interstate, ask a trusted local friend, family friend, or you can hire a professional to do a walkthrough, record the videos inside out and outside, and can give you honest notes about the sound, smell, and general vibe in that area at different intervals of the time. So this extra step can save you buying in a noisy pocket of the area which you can't notice during only one visit. So tenants in a quiet area will be happier and you will have fewer problems and fewer complaints in future. And when it's time to sell, you will have more buyers to buy the property. So paying a little more for the calm areas now often brings higher returns and lesser headaches. So the next factor which you should consider is proximity to the higher voltage lines. So homes close to the higher voltage power lines, especially within 100 to 300 meters of the power line, often value lower with the banks and get a lot less interest from the buyers and the tenants. Many people don't like the look of the towers closer to the property and they worry about the resale value and they notice the humming sound in the wet days. So the demand drops and you may have to wait for longer for renting and selling. So make sure you do a quick check. You can use the Google Maps and use the satellite view to measure the distance of the lines from the property and can check how visible the power lines are from the front yard and the backyard. And the next factor is block shape and land usability. Try to avoid buying a block which is irregular in shape or triangular in shape if you are considering building something in future, considering subdivision or building a granny flat or considering the extension in future. A simple rectangular block with a decent width is easier to work with. That makes it easier for the builder to go and work and do the addition in your block. Whether you want to add a granny flat or you want to do some extension, or even it is easier to subdivide and you can sell half of the block and that money you can use to pay off mortgage against the loan which you have taken. The next factor is socio-economic profile of the suburb. So socio-economic profile of a suburb gives us a very good idea about the social and economic profile of that suburb. It looks at the things like income, job, education. A higher score usually means higher incomes and more stability in the suburb. A lower score can mean more renters and tighter budgets. So this score doesn't directly tell you whether the suburb will grow in future because price growth comes with supply and demand, job opportunities, new transport, new schools, and lifestyle. This score helps you understand like who lives in that suburb and what they need. So with a suburb of higher score, you may get steadier tenant but lower yield, and with lower score you will get higher yield but you will need stronger property management. And coming to the next factor is owners occupier and renters ratio. You need to think about like who lives in the suburb. People who own their homes or people who are renting in that area. A simple rule is to aim for more than 60% occupiers in the area. The reason is that owners usually look after their places better as compared to the renters in the area. So the owners mow their lawns, fix their fancies, keep the streets clean, keeps the area clean, and they care about the street. So this tidy look of the area lifts the whole area and attracts more buyers and renters, resulting in better demand. And in tough times, owners are less likely to panic, so the prices in that area hold up stronger and better as compared to the areas where there are more renters. And coming to the next factor is public housing concentration. Public housing is an important part of the city and many residents are great neighbors. Point here is not to avoid it, but keep an eye on the high concentration in small area because this can change buyers and renters' perspective about that area. When a pocket has a lot of public housing in one spot, you can see lower sale price, lower appeal towards the renters and the buyers, and softer demand in slow market. A simple rule is try to buy in an area where the public housing is less than 4%. It is not a hard rule, but it's a safety buffer for long-term demand and price stability. Now the next factor is zoning and planning restrictions. Zoning is the rule book for land. So before you buy, make sure you are checking the zone because a zone tells you what you can build in that area. If you are considering the subdivision, if you're considering the extension, or if you're considering building a new townhouse in the back area or the granny flat, zoning tells if the block meets the criteria for all these considerations. Don't stop at the zoning only, check for the overlays as well. So overlays are extra layer of control that can limit what you do. Some of the common overlays are like heritage, character and precinct control, flood or bushfire risk. So these can add costs, slower approvals, or can block certain changes. The next is flood and bushfire risks. So floods and bushfire can hit your wallet, safety, and resale value of the property. If a home sits in a flood zone or in a bushfire zone, insurances can be very expensive, lenders may be very cautious, and buyers worry about the future value. Even a minor overland flow can flood garages and yards. So you should be very careful before you buy to check the flood and bushfire zones in that area. And the next factor is easements. An easement is a legal right that lets someone else to use a part of your land for services like water, sewer, stormwater drains, electricity, or shared driveway. So it often runs along the back and side of your fence. So before you buy, make sure you check the contract of sale, title to make sure if there is any easement. You can check with your conveyancer, your solicitor, or the council to explain any rules around it and confirm with the relevant authorities if you are unsure. The simple rule is here that you should know where the easement on the land when you are buying a property. And the next is amenity and infrastructure proximity. So before you fall in love with the property, check what's around the property. You can check it in the maps or Google Maps and check the amenities closer to the property. So if it is close to the train station, bus stop, close to the schools and child care, or is it close to the hospitals and medical center so that the tenant can get to work. You need to make sure are there schools and child cares near to the house. Is there a shopping center and grocery shop nearby for daily food runs? And if you are aiming for students as renters, you need to check how close it is to the university. So hi guys, I hope this video has given you some value, and if you like this video, make sure you like and share it with your friends who are considering buying real estate in future. So if you need a copy of due diligence checklist, just comment DD checklist and email me. I will send you a free copy of step-by-step due diligence checklist which you can follow for your next investment. Bye for now, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you.